Hey, what's up? Today I'm showing you how me and my dad built the fanciest birdhouse you've ever seen. Not just some box nailed to a tree, this is a full-on bird villa, custom built and summer ready. We've got a legit little water well in the middle, birds stay hydrated in style, snack zones on every side, birdseed buffet, a cage for a protein bar, gains season never ends, and yeah, even a spot for squirrels to get their peanut fix. And get this, we even added a UV lamp so when it gets chilly in the evenings, the birds still feel like they're living in a 5-star spa. But first we had to take out the old feeder. So after tearing down the old bird shack, R.I.P. little guy, it was time to upgrade. We dug into the garage and found some plywood. Shout out to Dad's "I might need this someday" pile, and started cutting the base. The cool thing is, you can make it whatever size you want. We decided to go big, because if you're a bird, why not live like royalty? Then we cut the main support pieces, glued them in place, nailed them down, clack clack, the sound of progress. Low-key, nail guns are way more fun than they should be. We're not just making this look nice, we're making it squirrel-proof, wind-proof, sibling-proof, basically apocalypse-ready. Right in the middle, we left space for a little water well. Birds need water just as much as food, especially in the summer when it gets crazy hot. Later on, we're gonna add moss around it, just to keep things fresh and slow down any rot. No moss yet, but trust, the plan is strong. While Dad was doing his focused DIY Jedi Master thing, I added a few extra boards around the base to lock everything in. No wobbles, no tipping, no bird drama. Then we started on the roof. We went with a slanted design, way better for rain, and it gives it that cool forest cabin look. Plus, when we add the moss later, it'll look like something out of a bird fairy tale. You can totally customize the roof, tall, short, whatever. We just made ours dramatic because birds deserve a little flair too. Glue first, nail it down, and boom, starting to actually look like a real birdhouse. A fancy one, with future moss and maybe spa music? Okay, maybe not. Once the frame was solid, it was time for the roof, the cherry on top of our bird villa. We placed the panels over the top and gave them a few good taps, okay, slams, to lock them in. The slanted design helps rain slide right off, no puddles on this penthouse. And yeah, later we're gonna cover the roof with moss, which isn't just for looks. It'll soak up some of the rainwater and help keep the whole thing from turning into a mushy mess over time. After that, we added a layer of insulation under the roof. Nothing fancy, just some plastic we found lying around. We stapled it in tight like we actually knew what we were doing. It might not look like much, but it's actually super useful. Helps protect the inside from moisture, and it'll stay fresher for longer, which means less rebuilding later. Then came one of my favorite parts, squirrel engineering. We cut out a piece of metal mesh, the size is totally up to you, and stapled it onto the side to hold peanuts. We call it the Squirrel Challenge Zone. Because yeah, they can smell the peanuts, but they gotta work for 'em. Nothing comes free around here. Next we added a little hanging cage feeder for the birds, for seeds, nuts, whatever snack they're into. Honestly, you don't need one of these, but it makes the setup look way cooler. You can get one online or DIY it if you've got the tools and patience. And that's it for this phase. Roof on, insulation in, snacks prepped, and squirrels already plotting their next heist. After finishing the frame and roof, we moved on to the legs. Yep, this birdhouse is going to stand tall. Most feeders just hang from trees, but this one? We're going full freestanding model, like a sculpture, with snacks. We attached the wooden legs and made sure it sat pretty high. Tall enough to keep the birds safe, the squirrels slightly confused, and us feeling like we built something important. At the bottom, we added a layer of moss, just for that extra natural vibe. Helps it blend into the yard like it's always been there. Also looks cool, let's be honest. We added some insulation too. Gotta keep things dry and fresh down there. This step may not be flashy, but future you will thank you when the feeder isn't soggy in 2 months. Then we picked the perfect spot for our new birdhouse. Flat ground under a nice shady tree, perfect real estate in bird terms. We leveled it out, made sure it was secure, and planted the legs into place. Gave it a little shake test, passed with flying colors. No wobbles, no tilt, we're locked in. Next we brought out the moss we gathered from our own backyard, cut it up, placed it neatly around the base and the water well area, and tucked some around the roof edges too. Didn't just look great, it made the whole thing feel peaceful, like birds would meditate here if they could. Now for the snacks. Peanuts went into the squirrel cage. Sorry guys, still gotta work for it. Special protein feed went into the hanging cage, because yes, even birds like their macros. And then we tossed a mix of seeds and nuts on the ground nearby for the casual snackers. Water goes in the center, in the well, and it stays liquid thanks to that lamp. No frozen bird drinks on our watch. We turned on the lamp and waited. First night, Boom. 5 feathered guests. Just some of the regulars, nothing exotic, but they showed up, looked around like, okay, this is kinda nice. And honestly, that's the best part. We built this thing from scratch, a bunch of old wood, a few wild ideas, and way too many glue stains on my hands. But in the end, we created a little world. For birds, in our yard. A glowing moss-covered peanut-filled bird resort. It was fun, it was chaotic, and it was weirdly peaceful. No fancy tools, no perfect plan, just time, effort, and some good dad-son teamwork. So if this gave you even the tiniest spark, go for it. Build something, mess it up, laugh at it, fix it again. Because the birds, they don't care if it's perfect, they care that it's there. Smash that like if you'd chill here too, and hit subscribe, because this was just the start. Peace out and happy bird watching.